Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Well, today I'm creating something for the Let's Play Link Party happening over on my blog. Now, Let's Play doesn't have a whole lot of rules because, well, it's play. And it's just really about the fun, sharing what you're doing, what you've been playing with, creating, etc. You can find all those details about it over on my blog at acolorfuljourney.com. Well, my play today, it was totally inspired by this roll of ribbon that I picked up while Black Friday bargain hunting. And this ribbon, coupled with some clear glitter, because I was actually almost out of clear glitter of all things to run out of near the holiday, had to buy that, which led to some other things. Anyway, so I'm going to be playing with these new goodies that I picked up, and I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go, but I know I want this with a little bit of glitter. So take a look at the video and see where it ends up. Well, here's the roll of ribbon, a giant roll of ribbon. I got it at Michael's. I think it was like 60% off on Thursday or Friday, whenever it was I was shopping. And I love those individual Peace on Earths right there, but I don't really like it as a ribbon, or I'm not going to use it as a ribbon. I'm actually going to cut it apart and use each piece individually. And it has a little hint of sparkle on it, but I want more sparkle. So I could do it with glue, but for this, I actually really want to do it quickly. I don't want to wait for things, so I'm going to use the Xyron to do it. Now, normally you put it down that way, but I'm actually putting it the reverse way because whatever part is facing down, that's the part that's going to get the adhesive on it. And I'm going to use the Xyron adhesive to help me stick the glitter onto it. Now, because this is a fabric, you really need to make sure that the Xyron adhesive is sticking to the fabric. It's because of the texture. So I'm just using a bone folder going over that to make sure that I've got good contact. That way the sticky stuff stays on to the ribbon. And this is, again, not the most expensive ribbon, so it's going to fray, it's going to turn, it's going to peel, and I don't care because it kind of gives it that cool wonky look that I love. I've got my clear glitter over there that I also picked up on sale, and sticky stuff is all over the back, and I'm just going to liberally, generously pour a bunch of that clear glitter on there. And you've got to really make sure the glitter stuck to it all the way, so you're going to press it down. I found the easiest way is to turn it over and then push down into the glitter. That's forcing the glitter to have a good contact with the adhesive from the Xyron, and that way the glitter sticks to it. So you get a little bit of sparkle and shimmer without a whole lot of a gaudy look, although I have to admit I really do like the gaudy look too. Now, I'm not going to waste any of that glitter I didn't use. I'm just going to put it right back into the container with that fancy glitter contraption I have there called the paper plate. Well, the next thing is I'm just going to cut these apart. So I've got my 4 individual Peace on Earths. And boy, say that in plural. That's not an easy one to say in plural. I'm going to get some black paper. Yeah, I got that on clearance too. Love that. This is a black textured paper, and you betcha I'm taking the easy way with it. I'm going to run it right through the Xyron. Now, to get it the exact length of the card, I'm just going to hold it up to the card, and I'm just going to run it through that way. A little bit of hook hang over the edge, but guess what? I'm not going to measure anything, and I'll cheat and make it all look like I did in the end. Now, this is also very textured paper, so I'm going to push that down. You can see the texture that's in it. I'm going to push it down just to make sure the adhesive's well adhered to it, because if it's textured, it may not touch it, and I need it to touch to stick. So I'm going to peel the backing off, and so now I've turned that paper into a big sticker, and I'm going to eyeball where it goes, but oh look, the edges aren't perfectly lined up. It looks, well, how shall we say, sloppy. Oh, and then look, I've even got a little bit on the edge. I didn't get it lined up right. End of the world? Absolutely not. I'm just going to come over here to my giant paper cutter here because my little one has disappeared. To my teenagers, I'd like my stuff back. And I'm just trimming off the edges here. So now it looks like I did measure it, and nobody will know that I trimmed a little off, well, except you and me. Because really, when I said give people a card, they don't actually measure how wide it is. At least I don't think they do. And if they do, they've got some stuff they need to work on of their own. Well, anyway, so I wanted to put these 3 pieces in the middle like that. I thought this would be great, except they don't fit. My total plan was to have them 3 gently spaced, and I don't like how they look on the black because the weave of the ribbon just isn't that great. So what I am going to do is just put some white paper behind it, and that way it should solve my problem. But I don't want to measure things perfectly, and I didn't cut anything perfectly, so I am actually going to go with something kind of wonky here. So by putting the white paper on the back, and yes, not measuring a single thing here, so it's not going to be perfect. And I think we can all agree perfect could be just a little overrated. What I'm going to do, though, is create a frame around this, so without any extra work, actually being a little wonky about it is actually going to create that little frame. So now here's the thing. I really wanted the look of 3 of them. I'd really kind of gotten attached to that, but they don't really fit on there. That's okay. Luckily, this stuff is like ribbon and paper, and I can cut stuff. So I'm going to put one in the middle, and then the other 2 are going to kind of hang off, and they're going to get cut up so that I'll still get the look of 3, even though my 3 didn't perfectly fit. So now it's time to get everything stuck on here. Turning right back to my Xyron again, I'm going to put those 3 pieces of cardstock in there, and it doesn't matter which side since they're both white paper. And I could have very carefully made sure that I match up the right one to the one that I had for it, but yeah, you figured that out. I'm not going to worry that hard about it. I'm just sticking these on the back, and the Xyron's really nice for this just because it gives me so much adhesive around that I'm sure that my ribbon is going to completely stick to this. Once I've got that done, now I need to put some adhesive on the back of the paper. Now for the next part, I am putting paper to paper when I attach the piece on earths onto the card. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape. This is also from Xyron. And that way I can just stick those right down in the card. I'm going to start with the center because I can center that one and then place the edges around. As long as the one in the middle makes me happiest, I don't really notice what the edges do if they're not quite as perfect or centered, etc. You know what I mean. Well, thanks for joining me for today's play. And don't forget, we've got the Let's Play link up happening over on the blog where you can be inspired and you can also be an inspiration. So head on over there, check out what people are sharing, and share what you're creating too. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, would have loved it if you hit that like button, and there's a subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks for being a part of this colorful journey.